Thomas buried his daughter on a Wednesday. The earth was cold, and the sky was the color of iron, and the vicar said words that meant nothing. Lily had been 7. She had been sick for 3 months. At the end, she weighed almost nothing at all. He went home to the cottage at the edge of the wood and sat in the kitchen and did not move for a long time. Lily's drawings were still on the wall, a house with too many windows, a yellow sun with a face, a figure she said was him, holding her hand, both of them smiling in the way only a child draws a smile, wide and absolute and certain of its own permanence. He did not take them down. On the 3rd night after the funeral, he heard something in the garden. A sound like wind chimes, except there were no wind chimes, and there was no wind. He went to the back door and looked out. At the edge of the tree line, between the birches, something was glowing, a pale amber light, low to the ground, moving slowly. It pulsed like a heartbeat. He watched it for a long time, then it went out. He found the lantern the next morning. It was sitting on the garden wall as though someone had placed it there. An old iron lantern with thick glass panels, blackened with age. The metalwork was unlike anything he had seen. Faces in the iron, small faces, eyes closed. He brought it inside. He didn't know why. That night, Lily was sitting at the kitchen table. He stopped in the doorway. His legs gave out, and he caught himself on the frame. She looked up at him with her wide brown eyes and said,
"Papa, I'm cold."
He knew immediately that something was wrong. Her skin was too pale. Her hair was too still. She sat in the chair the way a painting of a child sits, composed, exact, without the fidgeting that had made Lily who she was. But she said, "Papa." She said it in Lily's voice, and Thomas crossed the room and lifted her from the chair and held her, and she was cold, so cold, like river water, and he held her anyway. In the morning she was still there. She ate nothing, she said little, but she sat in Lily's chair and looked at Lily's drawings, and once, just once, she touched the picture of the smiling figures and said,
"That's us."
Thomas wept. He wept in the bathroom with the door shut and the tap running so she would not hear. The weeks passed. The lantern glowed each night on the kitchen shelf, that slow amber pulse, and each morning Lily was still there. The neighbors stopped visiting. He did not return their calls. His sister came once and stood in the doorway and looked at the child sitting motionless at the table and said,
"Thomas, who is that?"
"It's Lily."
"Lily is gone, Thomas."
He closed the door. He started forgetting things. Small things at first, where he had left his keys, the name of the village shop. Then larger things. Lily's real laugh, the sound of it. He could remember that she laughed, but not how it sounded, and the absence was like a wound. The thing in the chair did not laugh. It watched him with eyes that were almost right but reflected the firelight at the wrong angle, like glass, like the panels of the lantern. One night he woke and found her standing over him, not moving, not breathing, just watching with those almost right eyes. The lantern on the shelf pulsed in time with something. His heartbeat, he realized. It was keeping time with his heartbeat, and it was slowing down. He understood then. The lantern was not giving Lily back. It was using her shape to take what was left of him, his memories, his warmth, his years, fuel for whatever burned behind those thick glass panels. He looked at the thing wearing his daughter's face. It looked back at him and said, softly,
Papa, don't go.
Thomas sat on the edge of the bed for a long time. He thought about the drawings on the wall, the wide smiles, the figure holding her hand. He reached out and took her cold hand in his.
I'm not going anywhere.
The lantern pulsed. The fire in the hearth was nearly dead. The room was dark and growing darker, and Thomas sat with the thing he loved in the shape of the thing he had lost, and he did not let go. By morning, the lantern had gone out. The chair was empty. The drawings were still on the wall. Thomas was sitting at the kitchen table, his hand extended, holding nothing. He was smiling. He was cold.